Hyde Park. We're here at Invasion Day 2020. We're standing here today to fight against all the racist injustice that has happened to Aboriginal people in this country since 1788, date dot, invasion, and we're also fighting against all the injustices that happen to our community throughout the year and throughout the past 250 years. Talking about black deaths in custody, talking about incarceration rates, we're talking about fighting against the structural racism in this society. So please stand with us today on January 26th. I'll see you there.
Before I speak, I'm just going to introduce my husband, Colin. He carries the same grief that I carry. We're just taking turns every night, waking up crying. If it's not me, I'm waking Colin up with my sobs. We found our boy naked with only a pair of hospital socks on. We wondered if he was in the morgue and pronounced dead on arrival, and the corrective services brought him out to put a show on for us. For 3 days, our boy laid naked there with toxics coming out of his nose that I had to wipe away. We are the parents of 13 kids. We've come with some of our family today. Our inquest is in July. We've already had a directions court. They've already said that it's suicide without any witnesses. Without even investigating, they said that it was suicide straight away within the first 3 hours. Our boy had only left one son for us. And when he goes with his aunties to the cemetery at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and we can't find our kids. And they're laying up there next to their brother with the pillow. He's a brother to 4 other brothers and 6 sisters. You know, and his little boy won't go home to his mum because he feels that his father's still with us. I ask myself all the time, was he found naked for the simple fact that they stripped him because of the evidence on his clothes? Or was he laying in that morgue? They'd even cut off his rat's tail that he'd been growing since he was 13 years of age. Now, to an Aboriginal woman, that hair is important. That belongs to me. That belongs to his baby. Will I ever get it back? I'm asking every single one of you fellas here. 50 cents is not a lot of money, but there's a red bucket here looking for your 50 cents. We need help to get down from Armidale, 6 hours away, to come down and give our reports, because we get nothing up there in Armidale. It's a racist little town and we get shut out all the time. When they asked where did we want Tane's inquest, they said Armidale, Tamworth or Sydney. And I said, so why is Tane Chatfield important than the others? Why do we get an opportunity to say where we want his inquest? They want us out of the limelight. It's a UK international law that these kids of ours can't be isolated, and he was isolated twice. He went to the hospital the night before and they say that he had a seizure. That was on the 19th. Then he goes back on the 20th as a hanging victim. For 2 weeks straight, he'd done a trial and 8 people couldn't identify him that it was Tane at this home invasion that they say that he did. But he was already on remand for 2 years. If it was suicide, don't you think my boy would have took his life in the first couple of months? Why would a suicide victim get up and have a shower and be nicely stripped down naked? You know, he had blood under and skin under his fingernails that they didn't even investigate. They said, well, when he done the seizure, he might have scratched himself. But when my boy had all the bruises on his arm and the marks around his neck, all inconclusive evidence, to suicide. You know, I mightn't be crying now because it took me 3 months to build myself up to give you this speech. But all I do is paint at home to get all this pain out. You know, I'm the only one in my family that read the autopsy reports. How can you tell your kids at the hospital their brother's brain was dying? My boy was already dead, people, but they put on a show. He lay there with a fan and a cold sheet and ice packs around his body because they wanted to harvest his organs.
Life support machine. Life support machine.
I still sometimes think my boy's in prison and all I do is wait at that door, waiting for him to come home. I don't want any other family to go through what I went through. All the families before us. When I first come down here and done this walk, I said to myself, Nyoga, you ought to be ashamed of yourself for not supporting black deaths in custody or any other Aboriginal rights. You know, I thought my life was all right, that I was content with having all them kids, having my husband at home. But your life, people, can change in a second. 5 hours after we got the phone call from my daughter, not from corrective services or the police, they said you can have an emergency visit with Tane. And I was expecting my boy to sit up and say, Mum, they're in here bashing me. They're in here spitting on me. They're in here smacking me up their head before we go out on the visits to see you. On the last visit, when I had that with Tane, I lay him in a red poncho in my arms, and the officers were looking at him. Oh, what is he, your mummy's boy, is he? But he's man when he thinks he's behind them walls. They treat our kids like animals, and they need to be accountable. There is a law that they investigate their own. We need 5% people to change this law.
5%.
And then we might be able to get a fair go and the deaths in custody might stop. I'm asking this today, really join in with black deaths in custody because it's a painful, painful journey. And there's mothers after me and there's mothers before me. But look at your own kids if they're here today. Would you like to find them naked with no answers? It's been 3 years, people. And we've had one meeting with corrective services because they're gutless to face us. Ask yourselves, should they be accountable for these murders of our kids?
Yeah, whoa.
Murder!
What about our mothers? When they first come to this land, what about our mothers that they rape? Are we going to sit on our asses for another 250 years and let them rape our land? No! It's got that bad that they're selling our water, but yet we sit back and do nothing. People, I'm asking you to really go home after today and think about your lives and think about the cause. Get yourselves a cause in life. You know, I had to get mine and I didn't even ask for it. But I've got a cause and it's my boy, and I will fight to the end until I get mine. I'm just going to pass it on to my husband, Colin, because it's not just our mothers that grieve. It's the fathers also, you know, the boys that's supposed to grow up, that look like them, walk like them, talk like them. What about that loss that a father has to carry? It's equal, the same as a mother's. But I should be treated equal like the same woman in Russia that cries for her kid. I should be equal as the same mother in China
Yes.
that loves her little boy. Why ain't I treated the same way as the woman in Fiji? It's because I got black skin. But you know what? There's a lot of indigenous nations in the world that have already risen. It's time for us Aboriginal people to rise and take back this
Rise,
land
people!
and take back authority.
Rise,
Take back
people!
authority. Take back your rights. Take back your authority. Don't sit behind any more fences. Don't sit behind any more fences, people. We're equal. Take back our equality.
Rise!
We need to take back our equality. We shouldn't be thinking that we're different, but they put a government blanket over us for so many years. Take off the blanket of oppression, my people.
Take it off!
Take it off.
Take it off and rise!
They dressed you, now you undress yourself and dress yourself the way you want to be dressed.